Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Race to 100. I am Rick Thorcell.
And I'm Neil Boutin.
And we are on episode number 46.
46.
We're getting so close to 50.
We're getting so close to 50.
It's like time has flown, my friend.
What are you going to do when you get to 50?
Continue filming, probably.
That's what we do, just push through,
Just keep going. Can't rest on our laurels. There's always something else to engage. And today, with this whole conversation still ongoing this past week about the Orlando shooting, we want to take a different approach on this based off of personal experiences, which has to do with Islam and race. So, there's been a lot of talk about Islam when it comes to Middle Eastern folks. You know, immigrating here, born here, Muslim, they're Middle Eastern. That's when the news media reports on it, that's the first thing that comes to a lot of people's minds. Now, we need to remember that there was a big shift when it came to the black community engaging in Islam and converting. And it was Muhammad Ali was probably one of the seminal figures.
Yes.
When it came to showing that the Islamic faith was compatible with the African experience. You had Malcolm X, you had individuals who said that Islam was so much better than Christianity when it came to representing the black person's dignity during the Civil Rights Movement. Now, Neil and I were talking a little bit about this before taping, and I asked him the question that I'll ask right now. How many African Americans do you personally know, and you have lots of communities that you're a part of. How many black people are Muslims?
How many black Muslims? Okay, so I've befriended thousands of people. I know a lot of people.
This guy won everybody's friend in high school. Just to give an indication of the type of personality that he is.
We do have our high school reunion coming up. For those who went to Glenbard West watching, let's not forget, goodness. You know those Senior Most Awards, and I'll see you guys in November. But I've met a lot of people at Rick's. I've never met an African American Muslim. Anybody Muslim, young or old. Any Muslim that I've met in life came from South Asia, East Asia, or North Africa.
Okay.
Those three places. And if they're in the United States, it's because they've emigrated from their homeland to come here to the good old US of A to pursue the American dream. Okay. That's the only. So I don't know why. And Bricks and I were wondering why is this happening? Is it a dying breed? African American Muslims, with the whole Nation of Islam. I mean, we've heard of talks of of corruption between the Nation of Islam, between what happened with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, passed down to Louis Farrakhan, and the whole thing that happened with the late Malcolm X. And I don't know if it's just a dying breed or maybe black Muslims who are in existence have been taught or encouraged to suppress their beliefs. I don't know. So if you are one, just don't talk about it. Just live your life. Live your life in solitude, if that's the proper word to use. Right?
So, as a Cameroonian American,
yeah,
does Cameroon have any sort of Muslim areas?
Yeah. So in the country of Cameroon, they're mostly Christian, okay. Of Christian faith, a little bit of Judaism and a little bit of Islam.
Judaism, interesting.
And a lot of it and a lot of the Islamic and the Islamic Cameroonians come from, again, North Cameroon.
Okay.
So it's see everybody coming from the north, and it's always up north. Mm-hmm. Chances are, if you live in North Cameroon, you identify yourself with the religion of Islam.
Now, I wonder if there's a divide that's coming into play when it comes to how the black community perceives Middle Eastern Muslims, and if that contributes to the resistance to participate in this faith, convert to this faith.
There's no risk. Again, I could be wrong. This is my personal opinion, but black Americans, even if they don't identify with Islam, they respect it.
Okay.
Because one of the most prominent leaders in African American history was a Muslim man. So they don't have any issues with Islam because the guy was using Islam, his religion, his faith, his credence to help/better his people. So I truly believe that even if a black person in America does not identify with being a Muslim, they have respect for it. They don't generalize, all of this mass terrorism as all Muslims are bad. Black people don't say that. I haven't met one.
Really?
I haven't seen one on social media. I haven't read one who says that. You know what I'm saying? It might be someone of a different culture or color, but.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Alright.
they don't. They respect it because the greatest African American leader was a Muslim man.
And that is still perceived even in our generation right now as
One of the
reality.
another great African American leader, Muhammad Ali, R.I.P., who died recently, was a Muslim man, and these were people who gave black folk the confidence to do well, stand up to white oppression, and succeed in life. So black people, even if they aren't Muslims, black Americans, if they are Muslims, they respect it.
All right.
I have no problem speaking on the behalf of the black community. And if someone wants to, what's the word I'm looking for? Retort, contend.
Respond.
I've been hanging out with you too much. Yeah, they can do it. We've got a comment section below, but, I think we all understand what it is deep down. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anything else you want to add, Rix? I mean, you guys can always like, comment, or subscribe.
Yeah, and this is something that neither of us, and there's not a lot of resources out there when it comes to media report, research, that sort of thing, when it comes to this area of field. I just thought it was interesting with all the conversation about Islam going on, death of Muhammad Ali, all of this seems to be culminating into this interesting dynamic that I think made both of us question, well, I mean, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
What's the purpose for the change? So yeah, if there's anyone out there who is an African American Muslim who has converted, or white Muslim as well, I think that would be a fascinating addition to the conversation, and we would love to use those comments.
That's who I want to have a conversation with a white Muslim. Because Malcolm X talks about it in his book, going over and doing this pilgrimage, being out in Mecca, and that's what kind of swayed him from being radical, having the attitude of a demagogue, thinking that all whites were the devil, and then he went overseas and realized that there were white men with blonde hair and blue eyes that identified with the same religion as he did, and kind of took him in, and that kind of changed his entire thought process of how he viewed white oppression in America. Basically, he stopped generalizing. He stopped generalizing, saying all whites are bad. Instead of saying all whites are bad, he went on this pilgrimage, met white people with similar mindsets of his, came back to America and said, they're not all bad. Some of them are, but not all of them are bad, and we should really,
there's a chance for redemption in the white folk.
Exactly. But he unfortunately died too soon, and I guess we never got to see that vision he had, but his legacy lives on. So, yeah, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys, this show would be nothing without you guys. We appreciate all the support and feedback.
Absolutely.
Rix, is there anything else you want to add, bro?
We will catch you next time on the Race to 100.